Welcome to the Papa Report, the show that's dedicated to educating and empowering you to live a stress-free retirement. I'm your host, Kristen Oakley, and I'm joined today by the one and only John Papa. He is president of Diversified Planning Strategies Advisors. And we also have another very special guest in the house today. That would be Luke Papa, John's son.
Kristen, hello.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, welcome, both of you. It's so great
excited
to be here.
Another great show in the book we got.
For sure. Well, gosh, what a family affair. I can't wait to get into this. So the reality is, in my work as a financial educator, I have traveled the country and talked with so many folks, and a lot of people are really concerned with what happens when my financial advisor, heaven forbid, when that day comes, when either they pass away or they retire. Who's going to continue to handle and manage my money? And so what I love, and I can't wait to get into the history of all this, is you have a succession plan for your clients built in.
Yep, so true, Kristen, so true. You know, I started this practice with my dad in 1986. I'm kind of dating myself, but we started it a long time ago, and we were, you know, a father-son team, and we dealt with our clients, you know, separately, but we would cross, you know, clients every once in a while. And then in the last 10 to 15 years, we really started working on all the clients together. And, you know, my dad got older. He was a little older than I was, and he retired about 10 years ago. And had recently passed away. And, you know, it wasn't a big deal back then because we were father-son, so there was always somebody, the question never came up. And in the last few years, since my dad retired, I was getting the question all the time, hey, John, what happens if something happens to you? What happens to our plan that we designed together and built together? What happens to our plan? I didn't really have an answer until, you know, about 6-7 months ago, Luke was about to graduate from the University of South Carolina, and he called me up out of nowhere and said, hey, I think I want to join the practice. Now, we talked about it off and on while he was in school about coming into practice, but he never really committed to that. And then he called out of nowhere, and so far, like, the rest is history. Like, that's a great, Luke, that's phenomenal. It's a third generation coming into DPS advisors. You know, it gives us a legacy for our clients so that now that he'll carry the torch like I'm doing now with my dad's clients. You know, they're coming to our office and I deal with them, you know, personally, and it'll happen with Luke eventually. So we're so excited for that. We're really glad he's here.
That is so cool. Was that a fun phone call to make? To tell your dad? Yeah.
Absolutely. And I could tell from him he sounded excited too. So that even reassured me that I was making the right decision.
For sure. I love that.
Well, first I had to find out if he was calling me from the fraternity house to make sure it was serious. And then we had to have a really serious conversation about it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, so tell me, I know you started in 1986. Tell me about what location you started in and where you are now.
So when my dad and I started the practice, we started in East Hanover, New Jersey. We've only had 3 offices in 36 years.
Wow.
So we were in East Hanover from 86 to like 2000. Then we moved to Caldwell, and we were there until this year, actually. January 3rd, we moved into our new office in Roseland, New Jersey, in a prime office building location. We have the most up-to-date technology in our practice now. Clients we're doing Zoom calls, FaceTime calls up on the TVs in our conference room. We actually have space to do events in our office. So it's really, really cool. You know, Susie in our practice, she's been with us for 17 years. She's like our client's daughter. And in fact, I say this all the time, sometimes half joking, I think my clients like her more than they like me. So she'll be with us forever. You know, we love her. She's great. And we actually, in our new office, built our conference room, one of our conference rooms, as like a living room, because we want people to feel stress-free. We talk about this stress-free retirement. I want every aspect of the client's experience when they deal with us to be stress-free. So that first meeting, when they come into our office, Kristen, we tell them, if you don't want to bring statements or bring anything, just bring yourself. We're going to go into our little living room, and we're going to have a conversation about what's going on in your life. What did we say or do on the show, or whether they came to one of our events, our workshops. What did we say or do that prompted you to call and make an appointment? And we want everything to be stress-free. And that's our motto, that's our key.
I love that. Well, I know also that you have a very important whiteboard in your office that both of you have told me about. Can you tell me the story behind that?
So about 15 years ago, you know, we were looking at what's our motto going to be? What's our purpose, right? And we came up with this, and it took me a while to think of it. I learned it from some segments of it from other advisors, but I basically came up with the motto of educate and empower people so they can make better decisions with their hard-earned money. I wrote it on our whiteboard in blue ink, and we work underneath that that saying, and it's never been erased in about 12 or 13 years. It's been there. We don't erase it. It stays there. So I want my clients to see that's our goal, is to educate and empower you so you can make better decisions with your hard-earned money.
And I love that that's the heartbeat of your practice. I mean, that's what gets you up in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And what excites you the most about getting to do that for people?
Just being able, after seeing my dad help people achieve their goals in retirement, I just saw their happiness, and I wanted to be able to do that for people.
I mean, it's a gift that's priceless, really, to provide that stress-free retirement for folks. That's awesome.
You're changing people's lives, and you're a part of it. Some people don't like to go to work every day. We love to go to work every day because we're helping people, we're changing their lives, and we're making a difference. And we get excited about it, get passionate about it, move my hands, I start flying all over the place. But I think clients see that, and they can relate, and they gravitate towards that. So it's a family-run atmosphere. We've been a family business for 36 years, and we're so excited to keep going and keep helping people.
I love that. And I know we've talked in previous shows before about the word fiduciary, but for maybe some of our viewers who are newer to the show, can you just unpack that a little bit and what goes into both of you being licensed fiduciaries?
Sure. Well, basically, a licensed fiduciary is a person who has to have the client's best interests over their own at all times in the planning process. However, whenever we meet with a client, they know and that my concerns and wants and reasons for doing business are below theirs. I have to have their best interest over my own at all times. And we carry that. I don't take that lightly. And we carry that through every meeting that we have with a client. And every time we talk to them about any kind of plan we're designing, their best interests are over our own. Listen, does this work for you? And ask the client. And if it works for them and it's good, we explain all the pros and cons. And then we implement that tool, that financial tool that we're going to work with.
Well, I know you and I have talked about this before, that so many folks today don't even have a written plan. They don't even know where they're starting from. They don't even know where they want to go and how to get there. So if someone's watching today and they're thinking, gosh, I really need help getting my financial affairs in order, what would you say to them? So
for the first 10 callers who call and make an appointment in our office, you're going to get an introduction to the Diversified Planning Strategies Report, our DPS report for short, which is basically a written comprehensive financial plan by our team of certified financial planners who are going to design a plan structured for you so that you can get on that road to a stress-free retirement. All you have to do is get up and dial 844-534-4452, get a date on our calendar, and get your complimentary written financial plan designed by our certified financial planners. It's 844-534-4452. John and Luke, thank you so much. Again, to our viewers at home, that number to call is 844-534-4452. Folks, don't miss this opportunity. This is simply an invitation to have a conversation, to come in and meet with John and Luke and their team and be able to ask your questions and get some answers to be able to get this complimentary written financial plan that will be done in your best interests. You're welcome to call the number to schedule that appointment. You can also take out your smartphone. Simply scan that QR code in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. That will take you over to a landing page and get you set up to schedule your appointment as well. So don't wait. We want you to be one of the first 10 this week. I know they're very busy, but you're excited to meet with folks. So pick up the phone, make that phone call. We're going to take a quick, short commercial break, and we have more with John and Luke when we return.
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan that we're giving away complimentary to the first 10 people who respond. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have. by running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go, and who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no-obligation, full-blown financial review today.
Welcome back to the Papa Report. I'm Kristen Oakley, and I am joined in the studio today by both John and Luke Papa of DPS Advisors. A great show we're having today, and we kicked off this whole show talking about the importance of having a continuation plan for your clients so that they know that whenever, John, when that day comes, that you will retire or whatnot, that things are going to be handled and continued on for our client, or for your clients. And what's awesome is we have Luke joining us today. And Luke, you talked about how excited you are to be a part of what your dad's doing.
Absolutely.
But I would love to hear you tell us a little bit more about what made you decide to join your dad in business and to join the firm.
After seeing the way my dad worked with his clients and how he navigated them to a stress-free retirement, I decided I really want to hop on board here and help new clients achieve their goals, hardworking individuals meet their retirement needs.
That's amazing. And was there anything that shaped that decision when you were at the University of South Carolina? Anything that comes to mind that you're like, oh yeah, this is really what I want to be doing with my life?
Just the idea of being able to work with my dad and continue the family legacy of the business, it was such an honor. So that was like what made me really excited about it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what has surprised you so far in your work with your dad?
What has surprised me is the amount of potential new clients that come in, and they have an advisor, but they'll say something like, we haven't spoken in over a year, and that was just almost astounding to me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Right.
And you know, when we talk to them, we know we need to fix that.
For sure. Well, and that's an all too common thing. You know, I hear that from folks too. I don't hear from my advisor maybe once a year.
Which is crazy to me, especially in volatile times like this, you know? Kristen, if you're not talking to your advisor multiple times a year, you know, that's a mistake. That's on the advisor. You need to find a new advisor. You know, we talk a little bit about the processes when you come into our office. If we take you on as a client or you join our family of clients, which we hope most people will, you get conversations with us on a regular basis. You know, the big box firms, they send their statements out. Their advisor doesn't really contact anybody. That's what we're hearing when people come into our office. Well, our custodians do exactly the same thing. They're mailing statements out to everybody once a month, but every 3 months, our clients are getting a report from us. We call it our performance evaluation report, and it's basically our report card. And they're getting copies of this every 3 months with a little market commentary from me and a note saying, hey, let's talk about what's going on in your investments or any changes need to be made. So at least 4 times a year, they're having a conversation with us. Now, whether they choose to take us up and call the office and come on in, that's up to them. But we will talk to somebody at least once a year in person or in the office or on the phone. And the other thing that I think what sets us apart from everybody else that other advisors around the country think I'm crazy, every client of mine has my cell phone number.
Wow.
Every client has my cell phone number. And they know, listen, in my family, we've been doing this for a long time. If I get a call on a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock at night, there's a reason why a client's calling me for that. Or if they're calling me on a Sunday afternoon, there's a reason, and I need to know that. And, you know, I need to know what's going on. So, and when you tell people, here's my cell phone number, I'll answer it. If you call me Wednesday at 8 o'clock and I'm sitting around watching TV with my wife or whatever, I'll answer the call. If I can't, I'll text you, hey, I'll call you right back unless it's an extreme emergency. Do I need to call you now? And most people are respectful of that. But for me, and I think that's the key to a successful client-advisor relationship is communication.
Oh, for sure.
So if they have my cell number, they can never say, we didn't hear from you. Call me. You know, call me.
It's a two-way street,
It's a two-way street. It's got to be both ways, and that's what keeps us successful with our clients. I mean, we haven't been fired by a client yet in 36 years. I don't plan on starting now. We're going to continue that tradition, and he's going to follow in what I learned from my dad. I'm going to pass on down to him, and that's how we handle our clients, like their family. So they should have my cell phone number.
For sure. Well, and what I love, Luke, is you grew up seeing this, right?
Exactly.
So you knew exactly what you were getting into.
Right.
Yep.
But I'm curious, you've been there for about 6 months. Has it met your expectations?
It actually has exceeded my expectations. The amount of people we've been able to help in just a short period of time, it's been amazing.
That's awesome. Well, and how do you feel like your gifts and your talents, how can you specifically help the firm? What is something that maybe you bring to the table that kind of can complement what your dad's already been doing for all these years?
He's been doing it for 36 years. So I think I can potentially attract younger clientele and also apply what I've just learned graduating from college.
For sure. It's fresh, right?
Exactly. It's fresh.
Well, and to your point, you know, one of the greatest tragedies I've seen is that when people are in their 20s, that's when they want to start saving, even though they don't realize it's not on a lot of young 20s radars, but you have time on your side, the time value of money. I mean, what a position you're in already, knowing what you know at your age, but how you can pass that on to other people in your age demographic. I mean, you are going to set them apart for life.
Exactly. And that's the goal.
That's amazing. I'm curious too, because I've heard that you all post on Instagram.
Right.
It's at DPS Advisors, am I
Correct.
right?
Yep, that is correct.
And so tell me about this video that recently got posted.
So we have a social media person who handles all that for us. Kristen, I don't know how to do that. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you're so busy. You're so busy with people, right?
I don't want to learn how to do it, but we have a person who does that. And we did one of our previous show clips about inflation, like we talk about all the time on this show because it's so prevalent in what's going on in the economy today. We did a clip, a 30-second or maybe a minute clip on inflation, talking about how much a Jeep Rubicon costs and how much a filet mignon dinner costs. We posted that clip on Instagram. I only have 270 followers, so not like I'm some Instagram crazy person.
Right.
That video has been seen 105,000 times.
Wow.
Yeah, it went viral basically.
Right.
And so it just tells you that these topics that we talk about every day in our practice is what people want to know about. And you know, inflation is a huge issue that we address with our clients. Yeah.
For sure. No, it's on the top of everyone's mind.
Right.
Well, Luke, I'm curious, what's been the biggest challenge so far?
Biggest challenge so far is just the licensing exams that you have to go through. Yeah.
They're no joke. They're no joke. If you want to be a licensed fiduciary, you better really want to be one, right?
Exactly. It's not easy.
No.
Yeah. With that, we just moved offices, so it's just been a lot to find the time to study.
Sure.
To really get down and.
Yeah. But you're doing it, and that's the important thing.
Yep.
And yeah, you know how important that knowledge is.
Yeah, so he was helping move our office. He was sitting in on appointments with new clients and studying. And so he's kind of doing a little of everything. So but he's doing good.
That's amazing. I mean, there's no better on-the-job training than what you're getting right now, right? That's
How many times you tell me, he's like, Dad, I didn't learn this in college. Why don't we hear about this in college?
All the time.
I'm like, because that's not what schools teach. You know,
Isn't that so
this is
frustrating?
there should be a course on real life. You know.
Well, exactly, because they throw you out into the real world, and it's like we're magically supposed to know this stuff, and most people don't. That was my story. You know, that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate, and I became a financial educator and a licensed fiduciary is because I was so frustrated that I had graduated from a top school with a business degree, and I didn't even understand this stuff and how money works. It's a tragedy.
It really is.
Yeah, but you get to help people and fill in those gaps and now provide that financial education.
And that's why we love going to work every day.
Absolutely.
We love it.
Yeah. Well, I know folks out there, you're watching and you're going, gosh, this sounds amazing. I want to come in. I want to meet with John. I want to meet with Luke. I want to get my complimentary financial plan. What do those folks need to do? So
basically what you need to do is get a date on our calendar. So if you for the first 10 callers, you can make an appointment on our calendar. You'll get an introduction to the Diversified Planning Strategies Report, which is basically a complimentary written financial plan by our team of certified financial planners who are going to basically design a plan for you that fits your needs to get you on that road to a stress-free retirement. Because that's what our ultimate goal is, to get to a stress-free retirement. So all you have to do is dial 844-534-4452, get a date in the calendar. Our team's ready to get that date so you can get your complimentary written financial plan. So dial 844-534-4452. John, Luke, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, again, that number to call is on the bottom of your screen, 844-534-4452, or you're welcome to take out that smartphone. You can scan that QR code and get your appointment scheduled that well so that you can come in and get your complimentary written financial plan with John and Luke and their incredible team. We have more to cover on today's show right after this.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Welcome back to the Papa Report. I'm Kristen Oakley here with both John and Luke Papa from DPS Advisors. And another important thing to highlight about John Papa is he is an author as well, author of this amazing book, Avoiding the Retirement Traps, the 7 most common mistakes that retirees make and how you can avoid making them. So John, I'm curious, can you tell us a little bit more about this book and how it came to be and what's in it?
That's another funny story, Kristen. We wrote that book, I wrote it probably 15 years ago, maybe right around the 2008 market crash, so 14 years ago or something like that. And everything we wrote in that book is prevalent today in 2023. You know, the first chapter we talk about investing as though you're still working, okay? Most people when they retire, they keep the investment philosophy that they had when they were working. And that's okay when you're working, because when you're working, you're making money, you're saving money, you're building your portfolio, and when the markets are down, you're investing money and you're buying shares or whatever you're buying at a lower price. So when the market rebounds, you're building your portfolio, you're accumulating, okay? Once you retire, that philosophy's got to stop because now you're not building anymore, okay? You're not saving anymore. You're using your income to live on, and you're not saving any more assets. So when the market goes down, you're not buying more shares in that portfolio. So in reality, you're actually going to be taking distributions out of that portfolio, because if it's an IRA or 401k, you have required minimum distributions. So you're not saving, you're decumulating. Now you're taking money out. So that is chapter number 1 in this book, investing as though you're still working. And we also talk about the next chapter was not protecting your nest egg from a significant market drop. I mean, what happened last year? People who just retired before last year and saw a 25 to 30% drop in their portfolio in year 1 of their retirement plan, knowing that you could probably live to 30 years in retirement. Statistics show that. You know, you lose 25, 30% in year 1, you got problems, serious problems. So this book I wrote it a long time ago, and everything in it is, we give it out to clients when they come in as in an appointment. It's not an Amazon bestseller. We were joking about it before the show started.
It should be.
It should be. I wish, right? So I wrote the book, and we have a couple of retired teachers as clients, and they make fun of me all the time because I kind of write the way I talk, and there's grammatical mistakes all over this book, and they have no problem pointing them out to me, making fun of me, and we kind of go back and forth with it. And I say, I did it on purpose to see if you were reading it to catch it.
Well, and at least the information is solid, right?
Information's totally solid. My grammar's not, but the information's solid. So there's 5 other chapters in the book that we can go over. I mean, it's a nice, quick read. We give it out as if you come into our office, we'll give it to you as a complimentary gift to come in when you come in and make the appointment to get your financial plan.
So I know we've talked about folks coming in and getting this written financial plan, but I would love to hear a little bit more. What's going to happen when someone comes in? Do they need to? I know you've said they don't need to bring anything, but maybe they do have some information to bring. Just walk me through what that process is like.
Yeah, so pretty much we run our practice like a family-run business, right? I want our clients to come in or potential new clients to come in and not feel stressed about anything. So if they feel uncomfortable bringing statements, you don't have to. Let's spend the first meeting and we'll just get to know each other better. What did we say on the show or in our events to make you feel comfortable in our office, and see if we can work with each other? Because, you know, the way they're looking at us and seeing we're a right fit for them, we're actually doing the same thing. You know, we've been in this business a really long time. We love the clients that we have, right? And I want to make sure that the new clients that are coming on, we're going to love them too. So we're kind of both feeling each other out and seeing if we're a right fit. So that's kind of the start of it, right? And then if they're comfortable, they can bring their statements in, and we're going to have our team of certified financial planners analyze what they have, because you cannot make a decision about where to move or change anything in this plan without knowing where you are. And most people, when they come in our office, they don't know where they are. You know, they only have a basket of statements. Here's my 5 statements, different accounts all over the place. They don't know how much risk they're taking. No one's telling them any of this stuff. So we have to get to what we call ground zero. Let's get to ground zero, where you're at, and let's see if we can help you, and then we'll make some decisions from there.
Right,
you know,
for sure.
so.
Well, I know it's been so rewarding for you over the years, John, that not only you got to learn from your dad, and he's passed that knowledge to you, now you get to pass that knowledge on to Luke, but I also know you work with generations of clients. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I mean, again, it's kind of dating me a little bit, but you know, when my dad and I first started, my dad was older, so he had older clientele, and as we got older together, they started introducing their kids to us, and then their grandkids. So we're dealing and working with the grandkids of clients of ours.
That's so cool.
And that's what's going to help Luke, because they don't relate to me. You know, I remember when I first started, I was saying to my dad, "Dad, I'm 22 years old. Who's going to talk to me about insurance and investment? Who takes me serious, right?" So now I can't believe I'm actually saying this, that now he's the 22-year-old, and I'm the old guy that's not going to relate to the 25-year-old investor. So it's really cool how this life went through, how this financial practice that we built, you know, is where it is today. It's cool. I don't have no other way to say it.
It's remarkable.
It's pretty cool.
And I have no doubt that your dad, your grandfather are smiling down at you guys and what you're continuing to do. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, I know we have to go shortly. The show always goes by so quickly.
I know, right?
But I would love to hear one last time for our viewers at home what you would like for them to do.
Right. So for the first 10 callers who make an appointment to get a date on our calendar, you're going to get introduced to the Diversified Planning Strategies Report, the DPS report for short, which is basically a complimentary written financial plan by our team of certified financial planners who are going to design a plan specifically for you so that you can get on that stress-free retirement, which is our ultimate goal. So all you have to do is dial 844-534-4452, get a date on our calendar, and get your complimentary written financial plan. So dial 844-534-4452.
John, Luke, thank you so much. We love you, New Jersey. We'll see you next week.